was once a man so wise that no one could say just how wise he was. He was also so old that no one remember his name.
And he forgotten it himself. So they called him simply the Wise One.
Now the red one is equal to the guitar. With red one called the hair that the white area under the city with what called the city of there.
And the single road between them carried many travelers by horse, cart, and carriage.
And one day, when a merchant from here ran his horse halfway to there, he came upon a huge man standing in the middle of the road.
The man was half again taller than the merchant and dressed like a merchant himself.
The donut shouted.
None shall pass without a fight. Choose your weapon, dark or light. I'll more than match you, wrong or right.
Never mind.
And the merchant fled back to the city, warning everyone he met on the way.
It was not long before he told the king too.
Dear me,
Said the king.
what must I do? What must I do?
The queen leaned over to him.
Darling, why don't
Not now, my love. I must listen to my council of three.
The fat continent left his finger.
Your Majesty, a king must protect his soldiers and uphold the right to travel. They reach one of your foliage. Much better than giant than the master of clubs.
Oh my, oh my.
Said the king, but he called for the master of clubs and gave the order.
The next morning, the master of clubs rode out till he came to the giant, who was now dressed up like a master of clubs.
The giant bellowed.
None shall pass without a fight. Choose your weapon, dark or light. I'll more than match you, wrong or right.
The band one top paper it hot and loud.
I choose clubs.
But as he raised his own club, the giant raised one bigger and heavier.
Womp.
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 And the master of clubs was shorter and wider than before.
The flattened warrior raced back to the king.
Dear me,
Said the king.
what must I do? What must I do?
Darling, why don't you?
Not now, my love. My counselors will surely know what's best.
The second country put his ear.
Your Majesty, this is a great insult to the kingdom it must not go answer stand the Mosasaurus.
Oh my, oh my.
But he called for the master of swords.
The next morning, the Mosasaurus rose till he came to the giant, who was now dressed up like a Mosasaurus.
The giant roared.
Shall pass without a fight. Choose your weapon, dark or light. I'll more than match you, wrong or right.
that jacket wanted spa, but he hold and quiet.
I choose swords.
But just as he drew his own sword, the giant drew one longer and sharper.
Swish,
And swish.
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 And the shirt of the master of swords hung in shreds.
The Italian warrior raced back to the king.
Dear me, dear me.
Said the king.
What must I do? What must I do?
Darling, why don't you ask?
Not now, my love. At times like this, we must trust in the counselors.
The consider no.
Your Majesty, your kingdom now faces the greatest of challenges. Use very assistance. You have no choice but to use the most powerful warrior. Send the master of clubs, master of fire.
Oh my, oh my.
The guide for the Mosasaurus.
The next morning, the master of fire won't tell he come to the giant, who was dressed up like a master of fire.
The giant thundered.
Michelle K. Michelle?
Cylinder.
Okay.
Michelle K. None shall pass.
None shall pass without a fight. Choose your weapon, dark or light. I'll more than match you, wrong or right.
David?
The ruddy warrior leapt from his horse and barked.
I choose fire.
He swiftly wet her stood chase and dashed them at the giant, one after another, but the giant got some and some back fresh and burning harder than before.
With
Molly?
Riz.
And the Mosasaurus changed from high to foot.
the bone royal way back to the king.
Dear me, dear me.
Said the king,
What must I do? What must I do?
but not only one of the counselors could say.
Then the queen leaned over once more.
Darling, why don't you ask the wise one?
My love, a wonderful idea. I'm so glad we thought of it.
And he got for the wise one.
The wise one arrives next morning and listened carefully to the king. Storage. Then he said,
I will go at once.
With a cart and horse loaned by the king, the wise one drove out till he came to the giant, who was now dressed up like a wise one. The giant shouted,
None shall pass without a fight. Choose your weapon, dark or light. I'll more than match you, wrong or right.
Well, I shall have to think on this.
And so saying, the wise one settled himself to ponder.
The giant stood stone still.
after a while, the wise one's stomach growled. He reached into his bag for a loaf of brown bread and broke off a piece. He was about to bit into it when he heard a growl from the stomach of the giant.
Perhaps you too are hungry,
said the wise one passionately. He held out a piece of
So
bread.
you try.
Would you care to share my humble meal?
So you tried to conquer me with your kindness, but now I'll more than match you.
Almost faster than the wise one could see, the giant took from his own bag a table and chair and all manner of tasty, wholesome dishes fit for a wise one. Grains, cheeses, vegetables, fruits.
Then, before the wise one could walk twice, the giant stood far again, shadows walking back in the world.
That's the way of it.
The wise one got down from the cart and sat on the table to join the giant's offering.
When he eaten enough to satisfy his hunger, and little more, he leaned back contentedly and gazed thoughtfully at the giant.
I should like you to know a little about me. I live in a cottage in a forest outside the city of here. And though I make no such claim for myself, others call me the wise one.
Another contest? But you won't win because now I'll tell you even more about me. I have no name, for my father is the wind and my mother is a curved mirror. Like any mirror, I show only what I see. I have no power or skill, but what you choose.
I thought as much,
said the wise one, rising from the table.
but the day is more than half done, and I must visit the city of there before dark.
He stepped up to the stand and smiled kindly.
May I offer you a ride?
You dare to
Michelle K.
You dare to challenge me again? This time, I'll best you once and for all.
He picked up wise one.
then the cart.
Then the horse.
Pulled together.
Then he went down the road as fast as a wind.
At all the way to the city of Dare.
The giant set them down gently at the city gate.
I hope you at least learned your lesson.
Oh, I have. I have thanked you for it. And so will the king and all his subjects. I'm sure.
Then the giant rushed back up the road and was elected within seconds.
And nevertheless, then
Thanks to the wise one,
Travelers between here and there have only to bring themselves half of the way.
Then they get a word from the giant.